I got the passion back in my heart and the mentality to be the best in the world like I once was. And
Hey Fight fans, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Hope you are doing well. In today's video, we will be talking about one of the best bantamweights of the last decade, Cody No Love Garbrandt. Garbrandt has been one of the rising MMA fighters in the UFC who has achieved success quite early in his career. He is a former UFC bantamweight champion and is seen by many as one of the future superstars of his division. Garbrandt is set to make his flyweight debut at UFC 269 in a bid to conquer the flyweight division. But what were the key moments in Garbrandt's UFC career? Who were the key influences that led to his rapid ascension in MMA? And what kind of person is Cody outside the octagon? Let's get straight to the countdown.
Number 7. Career highlights and achievements.
Cody Garbrandt started his MMA career by competing in cage fighting. Garbrandt, when he was a kid, used to take part in wrestling competitions. He became a state wrestling champion in 2007 and was set to go on that path until the boxing bug bit him. He trained with his uncle and competed in amateur boxing matches. He amassed a 32-1 record until he made the full-time switch to MMA. He then appeared in the UFC's developmental platform, The Ultimate Fighter, where he was under the tutelage of his mentor and former UFC superstar, Uriah Faber. Garbrandt signed to the UFC in 2015 and made his debut at UFC 182 against Marcus Brimage in the bantamweight division. He didn't waste any time in his UFC debut to make an impression upon fans as he knocked out the veteran with a clean combination of punches in the third round of the fight.
So I came out here and just had to, like I said, when the lights are shining, that's when I'm the best. You know, put whoever in front of me, I'm gonna knock him out.
He then faced Mendez in his second fight, looking to build upon his debut victory. This time, Garbrandt displayed his speed and precision by catching Mendez with a powerful right hook, which finished his opponent in the first round. Cody's superior boxing and speed in the bantamweight division enabled him to build on a 5-fight win streak, where he earned knockout victories over the likes of Thomas Almeida and Mitsugaki. His victory over Thomas Almeida ascended him towards a possible title shot, as he knocked out the unbeaten Almeida within the first round, proving his readiness to compete at the top of the division. By this time, Garbrandt had made a stellar start to his MMA career with 10 victories and no losses. This ensured he would be next in line to face the bantamweight champion, Dominick Cruz. Cruz at that time was the best bantamweight of the UFC and was unbeaten for over a decade. So Garbrandt knew the enormous challenge he had on his hands to dethrone the champion, but was relatively confident he had the tools to beat Dominick. Prior to that fight, many believed that Garbrandt's high-octane style of fighting might play into Cruz's hands, as the champion was a very wily operator and was known for his excellent movement and elusive style of fighting, making it hard for Garbrandt to land his punches. The stage was set for UFC 207, and both Cruz and Garbrandt were very careful and measured in the first round. As the second round started, Garbrandt got into his groove by catching Cruz with some well-timed punches that dropped the champion on many occasions. In fact, in a role reversal of sorts, it was Garbrandt who was showing exemplary head movement, as Cruz was having trouble landing his strikes on the challenger. That set the tone for a masterful performance, as Garbrandt put on a memorable display of fast movement, quick and accurate striking to stun the champion and win the bantamweight championship via unanimous decision. Garbrandt on that night, according to the MMA community, looked like the best MMA fighter, as he picked the perfect moment to display that. He became the bantamweight champion at the age of 26 and was touted to be the next superstar of the UFC.
I'm the best fighter in the world.
At this time, Garbrandt had an 11-0 unbeaten MMA record. He would then square up against his former friend and training partner, TJ Dillashaw, at UFC 217 at Madison Square Garden for the first title defense. The pair have a lot of history and animosity together, as TJ was accused of deflecting to a rival camp of Team Alpha Male. In the fight, Garbrandt caught TJ with a powerful shot, which shook him until the bell saved the challenger. But TJ would rally and make a comeback in the second round and finish Garbrandt via TKO, thus Cody having to relinquish his title to TJ. The pair would meet in a rematch at UFC 227, but the results stayed the same, as Dillashaw would once again finish Garbrandt, this time in the first round by KO. Those losses proved to be detrimental as Garbrandt lost his winning touch. He would go on to lose to Pedro Munoz by engaging in a firefight with his opponent where both were trading shots at each other, until a strong right from Munoz landed on the chin of Garbrandt that instantly knocked him out. Even after those losses, Garbrandt has a good following amongst fans as he makes his flyweight debut against Kai Kara-France at UFC 269. The move is made with the aim of becoming the two-division champion of the UFC by conquering the flyweight division.
Number 6. Salary.
Garbrandt is a popular UFC fighter, so he earns a decent amount of money for his fights. His last fight against Rob Font earned him a salary of... His highest paycheck of his UFC career came at UFC 217, where he earned $398,000 in his title defeat to TJ. His career earnings stand at a decent $1.7 million, and that figure is expected to increase as Garbrandt still has a long career ahead of him, even after becoming the bantamweight champion very early in his career.
Number 5. Sponsorships.
Having become the bantamweight champion of the UFC, Garbrandt has many sponsors to his name, and a few of them are household names. He is sponsored by companies such as Harley-Davidson, Onnit Pro, Bud Light, and Body Armor. Cody is also sponsored by Geico Insurance, where he appeared in a funny commercial for the car insurance company. Garbrandt's popularity and standing in the UFC is sure to bring him new sponsors in the future as he continues his quest to become one of the best fighters in the UFC.
Number 4. He's inked from top to bottom.
Garbrandt has a fascination with tattoos, and that is quite evident as the former bantamweight is inked from head to toe. Garbrandt got his first tattoo at the age of 14 with his brother Zach, and by the age of 18, he had 18 tattoos all over his body. Garbrandt, in an interview with GQ, revealed the meaning behind some of the tattoos on his body.
I got the neck tattoo like, dude, this is it. I gotta be a fighter because I'm not getting a job anywhere else.
On his right bicep, there is a tattoo named Relentless, which signifies his pursuit in MMA. He has wings tattooed on his neck, which signifies sky's the limit, and diamonds, which means they are formed under pressure. He shared an incident where his mom wanted to take his neck off after seeing his neck tattoo.
You know, my mom nearly killed me with a neck tat, so I don't wanna, do the face.
Well, the ones we have mentioned comprise only 20% of the tattoos on his body.
Number 3. Overcoming a rough childhood.
Garbrandt grew up in the small town of Uhrichsville, Ohio, where he and his brother were raised by their mother. Cody's father was not around much as he was in prison most of his life due to drug abuse. Cody too was going through a downward spiral as he dropped out of school several times due to bad behavior, and he and his friends also used to get into fights at bars. Prior to joining MMA, Cody used to do side jobs to make ends meet. He worked as a bouncer and in the coal mines with his brother. Such travails shaped Cody for the better. His mother and his uncle were the key influences as they looked after him and his brother and helped them through. Cody's uncle asked him to train for boxing. His uncle came up with the nickname of No Love, as Cody was outperforming and dropping boxers who were more experienced than him at the gym. He says he is showing them no love at all, and that's where the nickname originated from. His mother wasn't a great fan of boxing and persuaded Cody to pursue something in wrestling. He became a state champion in wrestling in 2007 and had the town of Uhrichsville on his back after the victory. But that fanfare didn't last long as Cody lost the next wrestling tournament in his state, after which many people turned their back on him and failed to acknowledge him. Seething from this insult, Cody decided to pursue a career in MMA, and he met some people that would influence his journey in MMA going forward. And it was a special kid from Ohio.
Number 2. His relationship with a cancer survivor.
Garbrandt, when he was starting his MMA career, met a young boy named Maddox Maple, who hailed from the same hometown. He met Maddox in 2011 when he was informed by his brother that the kid was battling cancer and his family was short on funds for the chemo treatment. Hearing this, Garbrandt took it upon himself to look after the treatment of the kid by donating his earnings of a cage fighting match to the family. And he asked Maddox to make him a promise that if he fought off cancer, Cody would one day make it to the UFC and he would walk alongside him in the octagon for all of his fights.
I called him up, gave him a little video, keep fighting, taking your medicine. I said, you're almost there, you work so hard, you've been battling this for 3 years, you only have a short time left. Tell you what, I said, you make a promise to me that you're gonna beat cancer, and I'll make a promise to you that I'm gonna make it to the UFC, and I'm gonna take you with me.
Both took off on his journey together, But after 2 years into his treatment, Maddox thought of leaving his chemo treatment as he grew fed up and frustrated with the pain. Maddox's parents contacted Cody about this and thought a few words of encouragement would help Maddox change his mind. Cody met Maddox and said that now is not the time to give up after having made so much progress in the journey. Cody also reminded him that he had to complete his treatment so that he could fulfill his promise of being able to walk alongside him in the octagon at the UFC. Those words of encouragement made an impact on Maddox as he continued his treatment. He emerged victorious as the cancer was in remission by 2014. Cody too made good on his promise as he made it to the UFC and became the bantamweight champion of the world. A man of his word, in his crowning moment, he made sure Maddox was there alongside him, on ringside, as he wrapped the belt around the waist of the kid, dedicating the championship win to the youngster. Garbrandt also credits Maddox's journey as being the key motivator for him in getting out of his downward spiral. He says that, after meeting Maddox and hearing his story, I felt changed and wanted to be a positive role model. And in a way, he succeeded in that. Now, time for a fun fact.
Fun fact.
Cody Garbrandt owns a dog breeding business where he raises pit bulls from birth. The business goes by the name of No Love Bullies, and the idea behind it was to dispel the bad notion people have about pit bulls being aggressive and hostile dogs, saying they are the best dogs and just want to be loved and taken care of. Now, back to the video.
Number 1, his wife and kid.
Cody Garbrandt is married to his wife Danny. Both met at a gym in Ohio and after dating, tied the knot in 2017. The marriage ceremony was kept private and rumors of it were confirmed when Danny changed her last name to Garbrandt, confirming their marriage. Danny is an aspiring model and social media influencer. They have a kid named Kai Fisher Garbrandt, and the family still lives in Cody's hometown back in Ohio. So, finally, after looking at Cody's career, his lifestyle, and his salary and endorsements, Cody's net worth stands at $1 million, and going by the length of his career in front of him, his net worth is surely going to rise in the coming years. And by this, we have come to the end of our video today. But before leaving, we would like to know, can Cody Garbrandt become the next superstar of the UFC? What are your views on his move to the flyweight division? And what was your favorite Cody story from the video? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.